ஆழ்வார் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ராமானுஜ குரோஹோ புத்ரம் நாராயண குரும் வந்தே நாராயண குரும் வந்தே திராவிடம் நாய தேசிகம் நாராயண குரும் வந்தே திராவிடம் நாய தேசிகம். श्रीशैले सदया पात्रं धीभक्त्यादिगुणार्णवम् श्रीशैले सदया पात्रं धीभक्त्यादिगुणार्णवम् यतीन्द्रप्रवणं वन्दे रम्य जामातरमुनिं यतीन्द्रप्रवणं वन्दे रम्य जामातरमुनिं रामानुजदया पात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणं श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्. यो नित्यमच्युत पदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्म व्यामोहतः यो नित्यमच्युत पदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्म व्यामोहतः तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणौ प्रपद्ये. अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणौ प्रपद्ये. रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणौ प्रपद्ये. भक्तामृतं विश्वजनानुमोदनं सर्वात्तदं श्रीषट्कोपवाङ्मयं सहस्रशाकोपनिषत्समागमं सहस्र शाखोपनिषत्समागमम् नमाम्यहम्
ಹಲೋ, ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿವನ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಬಂದಿದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಕ್ಕೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿವನ್ ಅಂತ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಬಂತಾ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ನಾವ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತು. ಇವಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 5 minutes, no hurry. I just wanted to know whether you can present, you are able to present. Huh?
श्रेष्ठया पात्रं गुणान्वितः कुशकोऽनन्तरङ्गार्यश्रिमुजेतां भुवि यस्तात्मीयपरं वरप्रदगुरो वैराग्यवाग्यो रदो वेदान्तावृतदारवन्तमनघाते श्रीश्रीनिवासाद्गुरोः श्रीशैलान्मयकौस्तुभस्सदनें श्रेयोनिधेः वन्दे साधुकटाक्षकिरणनिलयं श्रीकृष्णसदेशिकं श्रीनारायण योगीन्द्रवरदारिकृपाश्रीमङ्गेशपादविरतं श्रीनिवासमुनिं भजे। व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं जगते पौत्रमकल्मषम्बराजिरात्मजं वन्दे श्रीतातं तपोनिधिं व्यासाय स्वरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधे वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। अविकाराय शुद्धाय नित्याय परमात्मने सदैकरूपरूपाय विष्णवे जिष्णवे नमः। संयम्न्यायकलापेन महता भारतेन चापब्रह्मितवेदविचाय नमो व्यासाय विष्णवे मुनिं स्निग्धाम्बुदाभासं वेदव्यासमकल्मषं वेदव्यासं सरस्वत्यावासं व्यासं नमाम्यहम्। अचतुर्वदनो ब्रह्मा द्विवागुरपरो हरिः पारदोषण शम्भुः भगवान् वक्त्रायणः कृष्णं कमलपत्राक्षं पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनं वासुदेवनारायणं हरिं कृष्णाय यादवेन्द्राय ज्ञानमुद्राय योगिने नाथाय रुक्मिणीजाय नमो वेदान्तवेदिने सारथ्यमर्जुनस्य जो कुर्वन् गीतामृतं ददो लोकत्रयोपकाराय तस्मै कृष्णात्मने नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावहादोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्तादुक्तं गीतां सम्मत् प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रैत्रैकपाणये रामज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतां सद्वे नमः वसुदेवस्तं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने गीतामृतस्नानं संसारमनमोचनं गीतासु गीतागतव्या किमन्यैः शास्त्रविस्तरैः आस्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद्विनिस्मृता सर्वशास्त्रमयी गीता सर्वदेवमयो हरिः सर्वतीर्थमयी गङ्गा सर्वधर्ममयो मनुः यस्मिन् प्रसारसमुखे कवयोऽपि ते शास्त्राण्यजा सूरिकायन्मयीमाश्रयाणि कृष्णेन तेनेदिह स्वयमेव गीतं शास्त्रस्य रसिदर्शं किमिहास्ति शास्त्रम् भीष्मद्रोणतथा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहिनीकर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा पाण्डवी कैवर्तके केशवे नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दाय तव नेत्र येन त्वया भारतैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः पराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कृतं नानाख्यानिकेसरं यदा सम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारतमङ्कयं कलिमनप्रध्वंसिन श्रेयसे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं नित्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मावरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदप्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थितद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो शेष्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शकदातं दुभोनिधिं वार्ताय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन घटितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवती अष्टादशाध्यायिनीं अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भगवद्वेषिणीं विद्पदाम्बोरुहध्यानविध्वस्ता शेषकल्मषः वस्तुतामुपयातोऽहं यमुने नमामि तम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः। Offering my pranamams to all the Bhagavatas in this satsanga, I shall resume the next session. We had done the Anusandhana of the fourth shloka of the third chapter in the previous class. So we shall take up the next shloka, the fifth shloka in today's class. Tadevam etadeva upapadayati. Etadeva upapadayati. That is, whatever was told so far is again being told. There is a small sangati for this shloka. In the third shloka, last time we had seen Lokesmin Dvidha Nishta Pura Proktamayanaga Jnana Yogena Sankyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. And that same thing is being told in Karmanam Anarambhan Naishkarmyam Purushoshnute Nacha Sanyasanadeva Siddhim Samadhi Gacchati. That we had done. Etadeva Upapadayati. The same is being explained further, removing the doubt whether this shloka, the next shloka that is we are going to read now, is related to previous or not. That means the fact that what Krishna was telling, the karmanam anarambhat naishkarmyam neha vidyate nacha sanyasanadeva siddhim samadhi gacchati. So karma yoga has to be started, and one cannot attain jnana-nishtha without karma yoga was being told. That is explained further in the following shloka, that the fact that jnana-nishtha is impossible to attain if one stops performing duties. Anarambhar, sanyasanadeva, both are not possible, and without that one cannot have jnana-nishtha. And one has to do karma yoga. So one cannot stop performing duties with the idea of worship of the Lord. That is, karma yoga tyaga cannot be the cause of jnana-nishtha, was being told. That same thing is being continued here. न हि कश्चित् क्षणमपि जातु तिष्ठति अकर्मकृत् कार्यते हि आवश्यक कर्म सर्वः प्रकृतिजैः गुणैः. So if we get a doubt that why one cannot without starting karma yoga, or after having started giving up in between, why it is not possible to give up karma completely and establish oneself only in jnana nishtha, the reason is given here. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarma krute karyate hi avashaha karma sarvaha prakriti gunaihi. Kaschit jatu kshanamapi akarma krute na tishtati hi sarvaha karma prakriti gunaihi sarvaha prakriti gunaihi avashaha karyate karma. So kaschit jatu kshanamapi akarma krite natishtati. Kaschit, anybody, anyone. Jatu means ever, at any point of time. Kshanamapi, even for a second. Akarma krite natishtati, cannot be without doing work. He tishtati he, and he sarvaha karma prakriti gunaihi avashaha karyate. The reason is everyone, sarvaha, anyone, everyone, karma, with respect to work, prakriti gunaihi avashaha, being controlled by or influenced by the qualities born of matter or prakriti, karyate, is made to engage in work. So because of the association with prakriti, everyone at all the time is made to engage in work only. Prakriti gunaihi avashaha karyate, being under the influence of the matter, prakriti, with which one is associated, one is made to engage in work all the time. So in this world, no one is ever without doing work for even a second. That is because of everyone is controlled by the qualities of matter or prakriti, and with which one is associated and is made to do some work or the other based on the sattva, rajas and tamas, the qualities of prakriti which influence a person and make one engage in the work of the respective nature. So that is the meaning of the shloka. The Bhashya for this, Nahi asmin loke vartamanaha purushaha kaschit kadachidapi karma akurvanaha tishtati न किंचित करोमि इति व्यवसितोपि सर्वः पुरुषः प्रकृति संभवैः सत्वरजस्तमोभिः प्राक्तन कर्मानुगुणं प्रवृद्धैः गुणैः स्वोचितं कर्म प्रति अवशः कार्यते प्रवर्त्यते. अतः उक्तलक्षणेन कर्मयोगेन प्राचीनं पापसञ्चयं नाशयित्वा गुणांश्च सत्वादीन वशे कृत्वा निर्मलान्तःकरणेन संपाद्यो ज्ञानयोगः. That is a Bhashya. Nahi asmin loke vartamanah purushah. In this world, any person, anybody who is present in this world, kaschit kadachidapi karma akurvanah tishtati. Kaschit, the meaning of kaschit, jatu kshanamapi is given as kadachidapi karma akurvanaha tishtati. That means at any point of time one cannot be without doing some work. Na kinchit karomi iti vyavasitopi. Even if one determines that I am not going to do anything in mind, that I am now not going to do anything, one takes a decision or one determines like that, even then, sarvaha purushaha prakriti sambhavaihi satvarajasthamobhihi praktana karmanugunam pravruddhaihi gunaihi. That is, he will be lured by the qualities of sattva, rajas and tamas, which are due to matter and get increased due to the effects of karma done from beginningless time. Praktana karmanugunam pravruddhaihi gunaihi svochitam karma. And according to Swochitam means according to the gunas. According to the gunas, when the influence of the qualities, sattva, rajas or tamas, and prati, Swochitam karma prati. Gunaihi Swochitam karma prati. That is, according to the gunas, one does avashaha karyate pravartyate. Being under the influence and not able to control, under the control of those gunas, he is made to engage in work. Ataha uktalakshana karma yogena. So, as told already, the karma yoga which has been being explained, according to that, in that manner, doing karma yoga, prachina papa sanchayam nashayitva, the collection of sins that has accumulated sins for anadikala, what is there, the previous one, prachinam papa sanchayam nashayitva, having destroyed that, gunamscha sattvadin vashe kritva, bringing under control the qualities of sattva, rajas and tamas. That means doing activities by which sattva will increase, tamas and rajas will reduce. So that way, one doing karma yoga and making sure that sattva is getting increased and tamas and rajas are getting decreased. Nirmala antahkaranena, having a clear, pure mind without any impurities, any kalmashas. Sampadyo Jnana Yoga. One has to get Jnana Yoga. That is the steadfastness required in the meditation of the individual self. That is the Jivatma Dhyana or Jivatma Atma Avalokana. Having continuous meditation on the individual self. That kind of a steadfastness can be achieved only by Karma Yoga, which will eliminate all the impurities of the mind. And that is because of having got rid of all the accumulated sins. And that is how Karma Yoga has to be done and Jnana Yoga has to be obtained. That is what is told in this shloka. Some meanings from Tatparya Chandrika. Nahi, the first he in the shloka, there are two, the word he in the shloka, it's very significant many times. Nahi kaschit chanamapi jatu tishtati akarma krute. Karyate hi avashaha karma. There is one he in the first pada and second pada. The first he of the shloka indicates that this shloka is going to explain the meaning of the previous shloka only. So that is the Sangati that is made clear. Nahi means it is well known only if somebody starts telling like that, it means it is a continuation of the previous shloka. So the second he is to justify what is told in the first half of the shloka. So that is the significance of the word he in this shloka. Asmin loke vartamanaha purushaha kaschit. The different kinds of adhikaris told earlier. Loke asmin dvividhanishta pura proktamayanaha. All those things was told earlier. Jnana yogena sankhyanam, karma yogena yoginam. So those who are qualified to do Jnana yoga, those who are qualified to do karma yoga, there are two types of adhikaris was told earlier. So that is the beginning of this prakarana where, and it is also indicated by the words kaschit sarvaha in this shloka. Sarvaha prakriti gunihi kaschit purushaha. So these are all indicated as asmin loke. That word, the words asmin loke show that only. Loke asmin dvividhanishta. Asmin loke dvividhanishta. And sarvaha kaschit. These are all indicative of what is told, the different types of adhikaris and all that. So the Bhashya here also, asmin loke vartamanaha purushaha kaschit. Kadachidapi. The meaning of word jatu tishtati akarma krita. Jatu in the Mula shloka is interpreted in the Bhashya as kadachidapi. That means at any point of time. So the sense of many, many days, that is the meaning. Kshana is the small amount of time of a particular act. Kaschit kshanamapi jatu. These are the words used in the shloka. Kshanamapi means for a fraction of a second or for a second, a small amount of time of a particular act. Jatu means for many, many, many days like that. So, nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati is combined. The kshanamapi and jatu are combined and the Bhashya is kadachidapi, means at any point of time, includes everything. So, there is no punarukti there. That is combined in kadachidapi. Yeah, so that means all the times excepting the duration of pralaya. That is observed. That only during pralaya, chetanas are not doing work, but at all points of time, somebody is doing work only. Even when one is sleeping, Swami Deshika observes, one is doing the work called swapa, that is the work of sleeping. Somebody is doing the act of sleeping itself. So that is a swapa. That itself is an act. So that is also somebody working only. A Chetana is doing some work. That's why it said Kshanam api jatu tishtati akarma krite. Only during Pralaya, where the Chetanas are all joined with Achetana in the Avyakta form, and then they have become one with Paramatman, Eki Bhava, Tamaha Pare Deve Eki Bhavati. That time only the Chetanas are not doing any work, except that Pralaya time. All other states somebody is doing Kadachidapi means all the time he is doing work only. So that is why, if one asks a question, how come we say that sleeping is also an act? Why sleeping is also an act? That is, we can understand from the Shastras that there is permission to sleep during some times, and there is sleeping during some times is not permitted. Like, for example, Sandhya Kala, one should not sleep. So if there is no work during sleep, why should there be such a condition at all? So if the Shastras say that sleeping is also not allowed at some times. So that shows that during sleeping also somebody is doing some work called swapa. The Chetana is doing the work of sleeping, the act of sleeping. So that is why it is said that kadachidapi in the Bhashya. Karma akurvanaha tishtati. Kadachidapi karma akurvanaha tishtati. The meaning of akarma kriti, jatu tishtati akarma kriti. Akarma kriti is told as karma akurvanaha. So it is not akarma kriti, is not akarma kriti, that is one who is doing akarma. That is not the meaning, because the word akarma is used in many shlokas in this chapter. And so akarma has meaning in different meanings in different contexts. Some places akarma is jnana. Here akarma is the akarma kriti is not one who is doing jnana yoga, but it is karma akurvanaha. That is the meaning according to the context. One who is not doing work, akarma. So that is the meaning of that. Karmanaha akarta. So the Bhashya is karma akurvanaha, not doing any work. Na kinchit karomi iti vyavasitopi sarvaha purushaha. The interpretation of the word sarvaha is explained here. Sarvaha prakriti jair gunaihi. That sarvaha is explained as na kinchit karomi iti vyavasitopi sarvaha purushaha. Even one is very determined that I am not going to do anything now. If he even makes a determination, that is the work of not doing anything itself is also a work. Determining and doing, sitting quietly is also one work. So these are all, it says that nahi kaschit kshanam api is told by in the shloka, that kadachidapi at any point of time. So this also becomes clear in further shlokas. Prakriti sambhavaihi sattvarajastamo prachina karmanugunam pravruddhaihi gunaihi. So why one engages whenever somebody is born, immediately they are influenced by various qualities of the matter, and then they start acting in different types of work. So it is decided by, influenced by the state of sattva, rajas, tamas when one leaves the body. So according to the prachina karma anuguna, so whatever karma one does, according to that, the sattva, rajas, tamas will be at a particular level, and one leaves the body and takes a new body. In that new body, one starts engaging in activities according to the karmas already done in this life, and according to the levels of sattva, rajas, tamas that was achieved. So prachina karmanugunam pravruddhaihi, that is increased. Somebody may have increased tamas, somebody may have increased rajas, somebody will have increased sattva. So according to that, they will start engaging in activities in the next birth. So that is, so prakriti jaihi means, that is the meaning of prachina karmanugunam pravruddhaihi is the meaning, prakriti jaihi, because the qualities of sattva are always present in prakriti. How can they be said to be born of prakriti? Prakriti jaihi means born of prakriti. And that is, so the meaning Bhashya is prachina karmanugunam pravruddhaihi. That means they are increased or decreased according to the karma done by one in the previous births. So that is, it becomes abundant due to some gunas will become abundant, some will be reduced, etc. and Prakriti is associated with Jiva in the form of body, Indriyas, etc. Prakriti Sambandha is nothing but the body, Indriyas and all that. So based on the karma, one gets the body, Indriyas, etc. in the next Janma. So Vishnu Purana says, Karmavashya guna kiyate, Sattva-adhyaha prithvipate. Karmavashya guna kiyate. The guna one gets, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, it is all because of the previous karma that one has done. Sattva-adhyaha, Sattva-adhyaha prithvipate. So it is also said here, Urdhvam gachanti sattvasthaha, madhye tifthanti rajasaha, adho gachanti tamasaha. So when one leaves the body, if they are having increased sattva, they get better and better births. Urdhvam gachanti, adho gachanti tamasaha. These are all told here. So when we get a body, sattva, rajas, tamas are according to the previous karma. So does it mean that it cannot be changed at all? So the answer is that no, it can be changed by doing the right things. So in Bhagavata also it is told Bhagavat Guna Shravanam Mat Katha Shravane Raktihi. That is one who is interested in listening to the Kalyana Gunas and all the Vibhava Avatara, the Cheshtitas, Ashcharya Chetisas of Bhagavan and all that. Bhagavata Samsevyata, that is Sajjana Samagama, etc. Satvika Ahara Sevana. So these are all told to increase sattva. So it is possible for one to consciously alter the sattva, rajas, tamas and all these effects of the prakriti in one's life. Though one gets a body according to the previous karma, by putting effort, by doing the right things, one can alter this. That is meant here. So the ill effects of the previous karmas can be thus reduced. That is why in this, it is Deshika, Swami Deshika comments here, Yetena karma yoga tanu krita gunaka jnana nishthavya avachhedaha. That means the karma yoga, the body which is used to do karma yoga, and from that jnana nishtha is achieved, that is not included in this. So prakritiyahi gunaihi prakta, that is why it is told prachina karmanugunam pravriddhaihi. So in the current janma, if one does karma yoga, one does the right things, it is possible to increase sattva and reduce the effects of tamas and rajas and all that. So that is the meaning of that. Swochitam karma prati. Swochitam here indicate it is the anvaya is with respect to guna. Swa uchitam means according to the gunas, according to sattva, rajas or tamas. That is the meaning here. That is actually told to be in great, it will be told in great detail in the last 6 chapters of, that is the third Shatka, the chapters. So 13 to 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. There the effects of sattva, sanjayate, jnanam and all those things are told in detail, where what is the effect of this gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. That is svochitam karma prati avashaha karyate pravartyate. So it is not avashaha sarvaha, but it is avashaha karyate. So these are all observations that Swami Deshika makes, which is important in the Bhashya, how Bhashyakarar has given clearly the meaning of each and every word, where what is anvaya, etc. Avashaha karyate pravartyate. That means being under the influence of the gunas of the Prakriti, he is made to engage, he is made to do those acts. Pravartyate. That is the meaning. Avashaha karyate. Ataha uktalakshanena karmayogena prachinam papasanchayam nashayitva gunamscha sattvadin vashe kritva nirmalantahkaranena sampadyo jnana yogaha. So this is a summary of this and previous shloka is given here by Bhashikarar in one sentence. Uktalakshanena karmayogena prachinam papasanchayam nashayitva. The previous accumulated sins, the papas, that has to be destroyed by doing the karma yoga as told. And gunamsha sattvadin vashe kritva, having controlled the qualities, the guna, sattva, rajas, tamas, in the sense increasing, doing the things by which will result in increasing sattva. That means if you increase the jnana, that means sattva is more. When sattva becomes more, one will be able to get jnana. And vashe kritva nirmalanta karanena, having a clear, pure mind, which is capable of meditating on the jivatman, on the individual self. from such a mind, jnana sampadyo jnana yoga, one will be able to do jnana yoga. That is a summary of that. So the control of the gunas can be eliminated by eliminating the accumulated sins. That is papa sanchaya nasha. That can be, gunas can be controlled by eliminating that, and that makes the mind pure. That is nirmala antakarana can be achieved only when the sins are all destroyed, and then it will be helpful to act for attaining liberation. So the purity meant here is to either eliminating the abundance of rajas and tamas, or eliminating the effects of those rajas and tamas, which are raga, dvesha, etc. So it is indicated what is the purity of mind, that santaha, that is told in even Ramayana, ramaniyam prasannambu sanmanushya manoyatha idameva avagahishye tamasatirtham uttamam ramaniyam prasannambu sanmanushya manoyatha. Valmiki tells his Shishya Bharadwaja, ramaniyam prasannambu sanmanushya manoyatha. That is compared, the purity of the water of Tamasa river is compared to the mind of a sajjana, sanmanushya manas. So that is nirmalantakkaranena. What is told here is, that is what is told. That is when sattva becomes increased, the mind becomes clear and pure. So with such a mind, one will be able to, that will be achieved only when the sattva, rajas, tamas are controlled by destroying the sins which are accumulated for all these births, and that can be done by doing karma yoga. That is a summary of that. And with such a pure mind only, one will be able to achieve jnana yoga. Continuing further, anyatha jnana yogaya pravrittopi mithyacharo bhavati ityaha. And now Krishna is telling first that doing karma yoga, you can destroy the sins, and then you can achieve control, increase sattva, and then you can achieve purity of mind. And if one doesn't do karma yoga, and without doing karma yoga, one enters into jnana yoga, what are the difficulties? What are the that is being told? Anyatha jnana yogaya pravrittaha. Anyatha means without doing karma yoga, jnana yogaya pravrittaha. If one directly enters into jnana yoga, mithyacharo bhavati ityaha. One will be called a mithyachari, that is hypocrite, because he will not be able to achieve jnana yoga. Karmendriyani samyamya yaste manasa smaran indriyarthan vimudhatma mithyachara sauchyate. Yaha karmendriyani samyamya vimudhatma indriyarthan manasa smarannaste saha mithyacharaha uchyate. That is Anvaya. Yaha, one who karmendriyani samyamya, having controlled the karmendriyas, that is the senses which are action oriented, such as vak, pani, pada, etc. Having controlled them, vimudhatma, that is having a mind which is away from the thought of the Atman. Indriyarthan manasa smarannaste, keeps thinking in the mind the objects of the senses. Saha, such a person, mithyacharaha uchyate, is called a mithyachara. That is one whose action is false, not true to his thought. That is the mithyachara. Achara is different from what is the thinking, that is what is in the mind. So not true to the action is not true to his thought. One who has controlled all the action senses, action oriented senses, that is karmendriyas, but is thinking about the sense objects in the mind, even though he has controlled from all the external karmendriyas, and he doesn't do pak, pani, shiraha, and all those things are controlled, but the mind is still not controlled. In his mind, one is thinking about all the sense objects, the pleasures that all the sense objects provide, and things like that. So his thought is different from his action. So he is called a mithyachara. And it will be away from the thought of the individual self. One will not be able to do atmavalokana. So he is thinking something else. That is the meaning. The Bhashya for this is avinashtapapataya ajita bhakyantakaranaha atmajnanaya pravritto vishaya pravanataya atmani vimukhikitamanaha vishayaneva smaranyaha aste anyatha sankalpya anyatha charati iti saha mithyacharaha uchyate. Atmajnanaya udyukto viparito vinashto bhavati ityartha. That is, one engages in Jnana Yoga directly, you will not be able to control the mind, is the gist that is told here. That though he stops doing all the engages in activities, his mind will still be thinking about something other than the Atman, all the sense objects and all that. So he will not be able to achieve Jnana Yoga. Avinashta papataya. If the sins are not destroyed, avinashta papataya, the sins are not still destroyed, ajita bhakya antakaranaha. So because the sins of the prachina karma are not destroyed, he will not be able to win over all the senses, the bhakya karana and antakarana, that is the external sense organs, and the internal sense organ, which is the mind. Atmajnanaya pravrittaha, one who is trying to engage himself in achieving the steadfastness of the individual self. Vishaya pravarnataya, because he has not won over the senses still, his sense organs will be still engaged in thinking about or doing all activities with respect to the sense objects only. Atmani vimukhi kritamanaha, because of that he will be away from thinking about the Atman. So, since a person still has interest in enjoyments of the sense objects, Vishaya Sakti is still present, he will be thinking about them only, will not be able to concentrate his mind on the Atman. So he becomes Vimukhi Kritamanaha, Atmani Vimukhi Kritamanaha. And Vishayaneva Smaranyaha Aste, he will be only thinking about the sense objects. Anyatha Sankalpya, Anyatha Charati. Having determined or decided to do something, he will be actually acting differently. So he is called Mithyacharaha Uchyate. Atmajnanaya Udyuktaha Viparitaha Vinashto Bhavati Tirtaha. Having started to engage in Jnana Yoga, he will only do the opposite of that and he will get lost. He will be only lost totally. Vinashtaha Bhavati. Viparitaha Vinashtaha Bhavati. That is the Bhashya. Avinashta papataya is what is known from the shloka Manasa Smaran is told Yaste Manasa Smaran. That is because Avinashta papataya, he will be still thinking in the mind about the sense objects only. Ajita antakaranaha atmajnanaya pravruto vishaya pravanataya atmani vimukhi kritamanaha. The meaning of Atma here in Vimudhatma, Atma is mind here. Vimudhatma means Atma is mind and Vimudha is turning away from the self. So the mind is not able to think about the individual self, but is turning away from the thinking of individual self. Vishayaneva smaranyaha aste. The word eva in the Bhashya indicates that one is thinking about the same sense objects from which one is trying to withdraw the senses. So that is the what is observed by Swami Deshika, that Vishayaneva smarana means the very sense objects from which he is trying to withdraw the sense organs, he will be thinking about them only in the mind. That is the meaning of that. Anyatha sankalpya anyatha charati. It is a mithyachara. So he will become one. He will become mithyachara. And how will he become mithyachara is explained as thinking to do something and acting differently. It is anyatha bhava. Mithyatva means anyatha bhava only. So his sankalpa is to do jnana yoga, while in practice he is indulging in the sense objects only, which is opposed to his sankalpa. Atmajnanaya udyukto viparito vinashto bhavati. So it is not that one is simply gets a name, a title that he is a mithyachara, but he will be completely lost. Vinashtaha bhavati. The words viparita and vinashta in Bhashya indicate that because of upaya vaiparitya, that is going against the means which one wants to adopt, that is what is done is contrary to the means. Phala vaiparitya also ensues. That is the results also will be according to that. So it will also be contrary and one will be lost. So this is highlighted in the second chapter, starting with Dhyayato Vishayan Gumsaha, that we already Sangastejo Pajayate, we saw those shlokas, and ending with Buddhinashat Pranashyati. That Pranashyati, what is told there, is again told here as Vinashto Bhavati. The same thing is repeated here. So Viparitaha Vinashtaha Bhavati. That means one without doing karma yoga, one engages in jnana yoga, first of all, one will not be able to do, and he will also go being doing the contrary things, he will only be lost, he is told. Yastu indriyani manasa niyamya arabhate arjuna karmendriyaihi karmayogam asaktasya vishishyate. This is the 7th shloka. Yastu indriyani manasa niyamya arabhate arjuna karmendriyaihi karmayogam asaktaha savishishyate. So now the vishesha of the karma yogi is told here. Hey Arjuna, yastu indriyani manasa niyamya asaktaha karmendriyaihi karmayogam arabhate saha vishishyate. That is the Anvaya. Hey Arjuna, one who yastu indriyani manasa niyamya, controlling the senses with the mind, asaktaha, being unattached, karmendriyaihi karmayogam arabhate, starts the karma yoga with the karmendriyas, that is action oriented senses, saha vishishyate, he excels. The gist is, one who controls the sense organs with the mind and starts performing actions with the action oriented sense organs, such as speech, hands, etc., without desiring the fruits thereof, with the idea that it is only the worship of the Lord, giving up the idea of doership, etc., such a person excels. So this is the Vishesha of Karma Yogi that is told here. Asaktaha. This is probably the first time that the word Asaktaha is being used here. Ataha, the Bhashya for that. Purvabhyasta Vishaya Sajatiye Shastriye Karmani Indriyani Atmavalokana Pravrittena Manasa Niyamya Taihi Swataeva Karma Pravanaihi Indriyaihi Asangapurvakam Yaha Karma Yogam Arabhate Saha Asambhavyamana Pramadattvena Jnananishtat Api Purushat Vishishyate. So Ataha Purvabhyasta Vishaya Sajatiye Shastriye Karmani. So for that reason only, that if he doesn't do Karma Yoga and starts in Jnana Yoga, one cannot attain the purity of the mind. So he will be lost, was told. So for that reason only, one who starts Karma Yoga, and now the speciality of Karma Yoga is told. Karma Yoga without attachment to the fruits, that is Asaktaha, that is without attachment to the fruits, with the senses in the performance of, and engaging the senses in the performance of ordained duties, Shastriya Karmani, Shastriya Karma only, not any karma that is told, but what is ordained in the Shastra. And Purva Abhyasta Vishaya Sajatiye. What is the nature of the karma is Purva Abhyasta. Abhyasta means practiced. That is one, we are doing karma all the time in all our previous births. So one is naturally used to doing karma, whereas jnana or meditation, one is not used to. Karma is being done every kshana. Kadachidapi jatu tishtati akarma kriti was told. So we have been doing karma all the time. So we are very much used to doing karma, whereas we are not used to doing jnana. So it is not, jnana yoga is not purva abhyasta, whereas karma, doing karma is purva abhyasta. One is naturally, engaging in work is easier than withdrawing from work, because we are used to engaging in work all the time in our previous births. So which is purva abhyasta sajatiya. It is belongs to the same jati or same group. Karma yoga is also making one to engage in action. So one is used to engaging in action. Shastriye karmani. But we have to do only the Shastriya karma. That is what is ordained in the Shastras. And Indriyani Atma Avalokana Pravrittena Manasa Niyamya. Now controlling the senses is towards the thought of the individual self. Atma Avalokana Pravritti. That is having a vision of the Atma, the individual self. So directing the senses, the mind towards the meditation of the individual, the self. And by like that we can control the mind. Taihi swatayeva karma pravanaihi indriyaihi. And using the indriyas which are swataha eva karma pravanaihi, deploying the senses, the same senses that are naturally inclined towards action. Swatayeva karma pravanaihi, which are used to doing work and which are good in doing work. So karma pravana is swabhavika, swataha eva karma pravanaihi indriyaihi, naturally inclined towards the action, but does without any attachment, asanga purvakam, that is not being attached to the what is the fruits of the karma. Yaha karma yogam arabhate, one who starts karma yoga, saha asambhavyamana pramadattvena. Pramada is any accidental mistakes which can happen. So in karma yoga, such a thing cannot happen. There is no scope for accidental mistakes, because even if one stops in between or one gives up halfway through or whatever it will make one, because of whatever he has started or little bit he has done, it will make one to engage in those activities again. So that way it's only helpful, and there will be no pratyavaya for that. Whereas jnana yoga is not like that. That is why, because of the absence of the accidental mistakes, etc., asambhavyamana pramadattvena jnana nishtadapi purushat vishishyate. So he is different and special compared to one who is directly trying to do jnana nishtadapi purushat. Without doing karma yoga, if one does jnana yoga, compared to such a person, one who does karma yoga and then does jnana yoga is definitely superior. That is what is told. Ataha, in the beginning itself, a karma yogi is praised by rejecting one who wants to get into jnana yoga as a first step. So this is also the sangati, continuing what is already being told, and is indicated in the word ataha purvabhyasta vishaya sajatiye. What was told in shloka nahi kaschit kshanamapi as a reason for jnana yoga being difficult to perform, the same reason is being told here as very useful and so easy to choose for karma yoga. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarma krita. In that shloka it was told one cannot be without doing any work, and so that one cannot be doing without work is opposed to jnana yoga. That is the thought thinking of Arjuna. So that is useful to karma yoga, because karma yoga one has to engage in work. So that is being told here. So what was told as reason for jnana yoga is difficult is helpful to karma yoga is being told here, and it helps. It is easy to choose karma yoga because of that. And doing karma is natural for the senses, and so it is more logical and easy for one to choose that. Shastriye karmani. So the fact of controlling the senses completely seems to be contradicting starting of karma yoga. It is made clear that karma which is started is not any karma, but it is shastriya karma. So that is made clear here only in shastriya karma. Indriyani atmavalokana pravrittena manasa niyamya. That is, here a doubt may arise that we are doing karma all the time. So jatu tishtati karma krita and purva abhyasta vishaya, what was told. So a doubt may come that in the previous births we are doing a lot of nishiddha karmas. That is what is barred from doing. That Veda says don't do this, but we are used to doing only that. So though it is purva abhyasta vishaya, the abhyasa seems to be more in in doing things which are not to be done. So there is a doubt that what is barred in the shastras, that is what we are always doing, the nishiddha karmas. Hence there is a very strong interest developed there in the nishiddha karmas. That is vasana prachurya may be present in the nishiddha karmas only over the previous births. So is it not going to be very difficult for us to control our senses from not doing what is not to be done? If such a doubt comes, that is cleared by in the Bhashya by telling that if you direct your mind towards the thinking of the self, that pravritti can be eliminated. That is, the nishiddha, the prachurya, the vasana prachurya can be reduced and eliminated if one directs the mind towards atmavalokana. So indriyani atmavalokana pravrittena manasa niyamya. The controlling of the senses is possible by directing the mind towards atmavalokana pravritti, that is by making it to think about the individual self while doing the karmas. So to clear that is a doubt that is made clear here. Since nishiddha karmas are opposed to atmavalokana, even though their vasana is very strong, it gets removed by putting effort in the direction of atmavalokana. That is the bhava. So Atmavalokana pravritti reduces the effects of vasana over a period of time. Taihi swateva karma pravanaihi indriyaihi. The word karmendriyaihi in middle shloka is explained as swateva karma pravanaihi indriyaihi. That is, by nature the karmendriyas are engaged in karmas. So by the same indriyas, asanga purvakam yaha karma yoga marabhate. Asanga is prerequisite to starting karma yoga. Is indicated as asanga purvakam yaha karma yoga marabhate. That is a prerequisite. That is, not having attachment to the fruit is a prerequisite for karma yoga. So with that, such a asakti one has to do. So this is told by Yamunacharya as asaktya lokarakshaye. So guneshwaro apyagatratam. That is told as the gist of the third shloka, third chapter. The very first word that Yamunacharya uses is asaktya. That is, without attachment to the fruits thereof. That is asanga purvakam yaha karma yoga marabhate. Is told in Bhashya here. Saha asambhavyamana pramadattvena jnananishtadapi purushyate vishishyate. Such a person. So in the Mula Shloka has vishishyate. The Vaishishtya Prakara is told in what way is it special, and that is told here that asambhavyamana pramadattvena. One who does karma yoga is having the specialty, the Vishesha, that there is no possibility of accidental mistakes. The pramada is any accidental mistake that can happen. That is not possible in karma yoga, and that he is superior to one who is trying to do jnana nishtha without doing karma yoga, without getting his mind pure, and he will only become a mithyachara. That is what is told. That Vishesha was told. Continuing further, so karma yoga is superior to jnana yoga because it is sukara, that is, it is easy to do because it is purvabhyasta vishaya and all that. It is nishpramada, that is, there is no possibility of accidental mistakes in karma yoga. Even if somebody does not do properly or stops in between, it will help one to get into more and more such karmas in future, because it is done as the idea of worship of the Lord. It is done without expectation, in the desire in the fruits and things like that, without any attachment. So it is nishpramada, and it is dustyaja, that is, it cannot be left out, because there is no way anybody can achieve jnana nishtha without doing karma yoga first. So it is dustyaja. One cannot, it is not possible to leave it at all. Whereas jnana yoga is dushkara, that is, it is difficult to do. And sapramada garbha, that is, it has got lot of pratyavayas, it is lot of accidental mistakes can happen in jnana yoga, and any mistake that happens during jnana yoga will cause punishment, pramada garbha. So purva, and it is not purvabhyasta. One is not used to doing this, while one is used to engaging in karma all the time. So the answer to what Arjuna asked in the beginning of this chapter, Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana, tatyam karmani ghore mam niyojesi Keshava. He asked, Tadekam vada nishchitya yena shreyoham apnuyam. That ekam vada yenaham nishchitya shreyaha apnuyam. Tell me one, if you karma jnana, what is it I have to do as a first step? That ekam vada. Tell me one step. Aham nishchitya. So I will be very sure to do what, then I can be very sure about what is that I am supposed to do. As then I can uplift myself. Yena shreyaha apnuyam, aham shreyaha apnuyam. That was what was asked. The answer to that is given in the next shloka. Niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajyayo hi akarmanaha. Sharira yatra pichate na prasidhyed akarmanaha. Niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajyayo hi akarmanaha. Sharira yatra pichate na prasidhyed akarmanaha. Very, very significant shloka. Tvam niyatam karma kuru. Karma akarmanaha jyayaha. Akarmanaha te sharira yatrapi na prasidhyet. This is the Anvaya. Tvam niyatam karma kuru. Niyatam kuru karmatvam. Tvam niyatam karma kuru. You do the ordained, concomitantly related karma. That is samanadhikarana. Is the meaning given to niyatam is is vyaptam in our Bhashya. That is concomitant relation. That is always associated with the same adhikarana, samana adhikarana. Karma yoga, karma akarmanaha jyayaha. Karmajyayo hi akarmanaha. Karmajyayaha hi akarmanaha. Karma akarmanaha jyayaha hi. That is, karma yoga is superior to jnana yoga only. Sharira yatra pichate na prasidhyete akarmanaha. Akarmanaha te. If you do not engage in karma yoga, sharira yatra pi na prasidhyete. If you engage in jnana yoga without doing karma yoga, if you don't do karma yoga, sharira yatra pi na prasidhyete. Even the journey of life or living with the body, carrying on with the body will not be possible. Sharira yatra will not be possible at all if you do not engage in karma yoga but try to engage in jnana yoga. So Arjuna engage in action which exists in concomitant relationship and is ordained, Shastriya. Such karma yoga is superior to jnana yoga. If you do not engage in such karma yoga, it will not be possible to even carry on living with your body. That is the meaning of the shloka. So this has a very long bhashya which shows also the significance of this shloka. The word niyatam is interpreted differently by different commentators. Shankara says niyatam is nityam. Here Bhashikara says niyatam vyaptam. Vyapti is samanadhikarana, that is concomitant relation. So it is vyapta, that is a relation that is told. It is always associated with the prakriti. Prakriti samsrishtena hi vyaptam karma. Prakriti samsrishtastvam anadivasanaya niyatatvena sushakatvat asambhavita pramadatvacha karmanaha. Karma eva kuru. Akarmanaha jnananishthaya api karma eva jyayaha. Naishkarmyam purushoshnute iti prakramat akarma shabdena jnananishthaya eva uchyate. Jnananishthaadhikarinaha api anabhyasta purvataya hi aniyatatvena dushakatvat sapramadatvacha jnananishthayaha karmanishtaya eva jyayasi. Karmani kriyamanecha Atma yathatma jnanena atmanah akartrutvanusandhanam anantarameva vakshyate. Ataha atmajnanasyapi karmayogaantargatatvat sayeva jyayan ityarthaha. Karmano jnananishthayaha jyayastva vachanam jnananisthayam adhikare sati eva upapadyate. Yadi sarvam karma parityajya केवलं ज्ञाननिष्ठायाम अधिकरोषि तर्हि अकर्मणः ते ज्ञाननिष्ठस्य ज्ञाननिष्ठोपकारिणी शरीरयात्रापि न सेत्स्यति. यावत् साधन समाप्ति शरीरधारणं च अवश्यं कार्यं न्यायार्जितधनेन महायज्ञादिकं कृत्वा तच्छिष्टाशनेन एव शरीरधारणं कार्यम्. आहार शुद्धौ सत्वशुद्धिः सत्वशुद्धौ ध्रुवा स्मृतिः इति इत्यादि श्रुतेः. ते त्वघं भुञ्जते पापाः ये पचन्ति आत्मकारणात् इति वक्ष्यते. अतः ज्ञाननिष्ठस्यापि कर्म अकुर्वतो देहयात्रापि न सेत्स्यति. यतो ज्ञाननिष्ठस्यापि ध्रियमाणशरीरस्य यावत् साधन समाप्ति महायज्ञादि नित्यनैमित्तिकं कर्म अवश्यं कर्तव्यम्. यतश्च कर्मयोगेऽपि आत्मनः अकर्तृत्वभावनया आत्मयाथात्म्यानुसन्धानम् अन्तर्गतम्. यतश्च प्रकृतिसंसृष्टस्य कर्मयोगः सुशकः अप्रमादश्च. अतो ज्ञाननिष्ठयोगस्यापि ज्ञानयोगात् कर्मयोगो ज्यायान्. तस्मात् त्वं कर्मयोगमेव कुरु इत्यभिप्रायः. So Bhashikara says very clearly that niyatam kuru karmatvam. Krishna is decidedly telling him tadekam vada nishchitya, what he said, that one, tell me one so that I can be very sure and I can decide what to do. So Bhashikara concludes the Bhashya for this shloka as tasmatvam karmayogameva kuru ityabhipraya. That is the decision that Krishna said, that you do karma yoga. That is a decision he has taken. He has told to Arjuna so that he can be very sure of what to do. Niyatam vyaptam, that is vyapti is the sambandha, that is samanadikarana. Vyapti, like we say in Dhuma and Agni, that there is a Vyapti, that is Yatra Yatra Dhumaha, Yatra Yatra Agni, Tatra Tatra Dhumaha, like that. Wherever there is fire, there is flame, there is smoke, like that. That Vyapti is, that is, there is Sambandha. That is the Sambandha that is told here. Niyatam means Vyaptam. Samanadikarana, that is the meaning given here. Prakriti samsrishtena hi vyaptam karma. That is, Prakriti samsarga is association with the matter. That association with the matter is in the form of body, indriyas and all that. So we should know that a Jivatma is always associated with Prakriti till liberation. So that is the only time when he leaves out Prakriti Sambandha. So even when one leaves a body and takes another body, there is a Sukshma Sharira which follows him. That is told in the Brahma Sutras, according to the Vedas, Upanishads, very clearly it is told. So when one goes from one body to Tadantara Pratipattau Samparishvaktaha Ramhati Prashna Nirupanabhyam, that Brahma Sutra says that Tadantara Pratipattau Dehaantara Praptau Samparishvaktaha, that is Bhuta Sukshmebhyaha Samparishvaktaha Ramhati Gacchati. So he always goes with Sukshma Sharira, even when one leaves the body. The Sthula body, when he leaves, there is a Sukshma Sharira which follows him from body to body, and like that. So only when finally leaves the final body, when goes to liberation, he gets a Sukshma Sharira because of the power of the Upaya, that is Bhakti Yoga or Prapati that one has done. He gets a Sukshma Sharira which is not Karmakrita, that is not for enjoying karma, because all his karmas will be destroyed. And in Viraja Nadi, he leaves that Sukshma Sharira also, and he gives Brahmi Rupa, that is, he gets Brahma Tejas, Brahma Gandha and all that. So that is all told. And he can take many Shariras, he cannot be without Sharira. That is all Aprakrita. There, Shuddha Sattvamaya Sharira he takes when he becomes liberated. So he is always associated, as long as he is in Prakriti Mandala, in this samsara, till liberation, he is always associated with some body, that is Prakriti. His association with Prakriti is Niyata, that is Prakriti Karma, and Karma is Vyapta, that is because of his association with Prakriti, there is always Karma also present in the same Adhikarana, that is concomitantly related to that. So Prakriti Samsrishtastvam Anadivasanaya Niyatatvena. The Anadi Vasana, that is because the various karmas done, the vasanas which ensues from beginningless time. So that Prakriti association is always there. Till the complete karmas and the vasana, everything get destroyed, the Prakriti Sambandha will not go. So it is Niyata. So, Niyatatvena Sushakatvat, that is karma, doing karma is easy. And Asambhavita Pramadatvacha Karmanaha. The Vasana is also for doing karma only, Anadi Vasana. And the karma is always associated with Prakriti Sambandha. Jiva has got Prakriti Sambandha. Karma is always associated with Prakriti Sambandha. And he has been doing karma for a long time, from beginningless time. So, which means he has got developed a strong vasana, that is reminiscent impression for doing karma. And because of that, it is easy to do karma. Sushakatvat, that is, it is easy to do. Asambhavita Pramadatvacha. And there are no possibilities of accidental mistakes. Pramada is accidental mistakes. Asambhavita is not possible. Have karmanaha. So karma yoga, karma eva kuru. So do only karma. Akarmanaha jnananisthaya api karma eva jyayaha. Karma jyayo hi akarmana. This is a very significant meaning in our Bhashya, that akarmanaha. So in other bhashyas it is told as karma anarambha and all those things, not starting the karma, things like that. Here akarmanaha, Bhashyakara gives the meaning jnananishtha. Akarmana means akarma is jnana yoga here. It is told jnananisthaya api karma yoga, karma eva jyayaha. That is from compared to jnana yoga, karma jyayaha akarmanaha. Compared to akarma, that is jnananishtha, karma jyayaha, that is karma eva jyayaha. Karma yoga itself is more superior. And it is justified as naishkarmyam purusho ashnute. Nishkranta karma. Naishkarmya was told as Nishkranta karma. One who has done karma yoga and then achieved the Jnana-nishtha is told as Naishkarmyam. Naishkarmyam Purushaha. When he does Karma Yoga, he will achieve Jnana-nishtha was told earlier in this chapter. And so iti prakramate, it was in the beginning, the prakrama, that is upakrama, it was told as Naishkarmyam Purushošnute. Akarma shabdena Jnana-nishtha eva uchyate. So because of Naishkarmyam Purushošnute, from Akarma Shabda, Jnana-nishtha only is told. So Bhashyakara is justifying how can we give the meaning of Jnana-nishtha for the word Akarma here. So Jnana-nishtha-adhikarinopi anabhyasta purvataya, for a person who is trying to engage in Jnana-nishtha without doing Karma Yoga, it is anabhyasta purvataya, not used to doing such a Jnana-nishtha in earlier lives. He aniyatatvena, and it is not always present, because so it is aniyata, that is, it is not vyapta, and sushakatvat, dushyakatvat, it is very difficult to do, and it is sapramadatvacha, it is having possibility of accidental mistakes. Jnana-nishthayaha karma-nishtha eva jyayasi. So because of that, karma-nishtha only is superior to entering into Jnana Yoga directly. The end result of karma yoga is Jnana-nishtha only. So if one is trying to enter into Jnana-nishtha without doing karma yoga, is what is told here. And because one is always used to doing karma, one cannot enter into Jnana Yoga directly. One has to do karma yoga. Only then one can get into Jnana Yoga is made very clear here. Karmani kriyamanecha atmayathatmya jnanena atmanaha akartrutvanusandhanam anantarameva vakshyate. Even while doing karma yoga, when one is doing karma yoga, karmani kriyamanecha atmayathatmya jnanena, the yathatmya jnana of the atma, yathatmya is the real nature as it exists. The yathatmya jnana, the knowledge of the real nature of the individual self, atma yathatmya jnana, knowledge of the real nature of the individual self, that is Jivatma is Nitya, and he is Anu, he is Anuswarupa, is Jnana Swarupa, he has got doership, knowership, and he is Sheshabhuta to Paramatma, subservient to the Lord. These are all the nature, the real nature of the, and he is different from the body. All these things are the nature of the individual self. And with such a knowledge, Atmanaha akartrutvanusandhanam, because of such a knowledge that he is different from the body, he is Jnana Swarupa, he has got Jnatritva, and in real nature he is pure, and he has got Ashtagunas, Apahatapapmatva, etc. And because of all those things, what is being done with the association of this Prakriti, the body and the Indriyas, it is not related to the Atman. So akartrutva anusandhana, the Atman, the doership, this kind of activities which are because of the Prakriti which are coming, is not in real nature connected with the Jivatma, that kind of anusandhana, and he is not the only one doing, and all those things have to be anantarameva vakshate. They are all being told in detail later. Ataha atmajnanasya api karma yoga antargatatvat sayeva jyaya nityartaha. The akartrutvanusandhana which is being done in karma yoga, why is it done? How can we do akartrutvanusandhana? That can be done only with the knowledge of the Atman. If we do not have the knowledge of the Atman, akartrutvanusandhana cannot be done. So that akartrutva anusandhana, that is, I am not the doer, that kind of a thinking, what one does karma yoga, it is possible only when knows the nature of I. So if I know that the Jivatman is different from the body only, such a thinking, the idea of non-doership, that can be done only if one knows the nature of the Jivatman. So the nature of knowledge of the nature of the Jivatman is built into karma yoga. So this all already has atmajnanasyapi karma yoga antargatatvat. It is already built into karma yoga. So because of that, karma yoga only is superior. Sa eva jyayan iti arthaha. So karmano jnananishthāyaha jyāyastva vachanam jnananishthāyām adhikāre sati eva upapadyate. If anywhere there is praised, the jnananishthā is praised compared to the karma yoga anywhere, it is only for those people who are qualified to do jnana-nishtha directly. Jnana-nishtayam adhikare sati, one has the qualifications and the ability to do jnana-nishtha directly, only then it is possible. It is sarvam karmam parityajya. Even that jnana-nishtha, what is the nature of jnana-nishtha? It is not karma atyanta abhava. Karma abhava jnana-nishtha, what is told in other darshanas like Advaita and all that. That jnana-nishtha is karma abhava. That is karma atyanta abhava. There is no karma. That is not what is told anywhere, because jnana yoga also includes nitya naimitya karmas. Even bhakti yoga, one has to do nitya naimitya karmas. One can never leave the nitya naimitya karmas. So Bhashyakara explains here, Yadi sarvam karma parityajya, giving up all the karma, all the activities, parityajya, kevalam jnana nishtayam adhikaroshi. If you are thinking that you will do only the thinking of the meditation of the individual self, tarhi akarmanaha te, having given up all the work, all the karmas, jnana nishthasya, jnana nishthopakarini sharira yatrapi nasetsyati. So if you give up all the work, and if you are thinking that you will be able to do meditation on the individual self by giving up all the work, that is karma, sarvam karma parityajya, then how will you even possible to carry on with your body? Because to do jnana yoga also you need the mind, you need the indriyas, you need body, all these things are required. As long as these are associated, one cannot avoid not doing the karma. That is, one has to be doing some karma or the other, as long as the association is there. So if you are trying to think that you can do jnana yoga by giving up all karma, even you cannot even carry on with the body, anything, any activity, if you don't do, if you think that you cannot do, you are not going to do. It is just not possible, because you can't even be living carrying on with the body. So that is why it is not possible to do jnana yoga also by, that is, so jnana yoga is not giving up all the sarva karma parityaga, is not the meaning of jnana yoga. Yavat sadhana samapti sharira dharanam cha avashyam karyam. Till the means, one completes the means, sadhana is means, samapti, completion of the means, sharira dharanam avashyam karyam. One has to be having the body. And that should be done with nyaya arjita dhanena mahayajnadikam krutva tachishtashanena eva sharira dharanam karyam. So in the right ways, earning whatever the money and other things, earning in the right way, mahayajna, panchamahayajnas and all those things one has to do. And that offering to the Lord, whatever is left over, that is prasada, tachishta ashanena. These are all being explained in detail later also. With such a prasada, sharira dharanam karyam, one has to bear the body. And because ahara shuddho sattva shuddhihi, dhruva sattva shuddho dhruva smritihi is told in the Shruti that only when one takes shuddha ahara, then the mind becomes pure. And with that only one will be able to achieve meditation. So one who does not offer to the Lord and prepares food or eats for oneself, then they will be only eating papas, it is told. Te to agham bunjate. Agha is papa. Papaha ye pachanti atmakaranat. That is, everything has to be done as worship of the Lord. That is, the yajna is being told later that Bhagavad Aradhana and Bhagavan Nivedita Prasada, one has to bear the body with the Bhagavan Nivedita Prasada only. So that is being told later. Ataha jnananishtasyapi karma akurvataha devaya dehayatrapi nasetsyati. Yato jnananishtasyapi dhriyamana sharirasya yavat sadhana samapti mahayajnadi nityanaimittikam karma avashyam kartavyam. Yatascha karmayogepi atmanaha akartritva bhavanaya atmayatha atmajnana sandhanam antargatam. Yatascha prakriti samsrishtasya karmayogaha sushakaha apramadascha ato jnananishtayogasyapi jnanayogat karmayogo jyayane tasmatvam karmayogameva kuru ityabhiprayah. So the details of this Bhashya with some additional points from the Tatparya Chandrika, etc., we can enjoy in the next class. We have come to the end of the class, and I shall conclude today's session here, and we will take up a little more details of this Bhashya, which is a very important shloka, in the next session. So with that, offering my pranamams to everyone, I shall stop my session here and leave the class for any question and answer if there are any. Thank you. Vikram Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. So if there are no questions, I shall conclude today's session. Thank you very much. rAmAnuja.